Hello folks, and welcome back to Whiskey Wars. My name is Sean, and tonight we're going to be doing another episode of Have a Drink on Me, which is where another whiskey tuber or someone else has sent us a sample, and tonight we're having a drink on Indpndnt Joe. What did he send us? Let's find out. Okay, so here's our sample for tonight. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus on this little bottle here. You seeing that? I'll read it off to you just in case you didn't. So this is Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend Batch 22, 124 proof. So this will be fun. Let's go ahead and get this thing poured. In the meantime, thank you, Joe, from Indpndnt Joe, for this sample. I've been looking forward to this quite a bit. I don't want to use it all up at once, so we're going to save a little bit for later. And folks, go check out Joe's channel. He does fantastic reviews and also very fun lives. He does blind battles with other whiskey tubers. I have been one of those. Lots of fun trying to guess what you're drinking when you have no idea what's in your glass. Yeah, so check those out, and also check out Joe's other stuff. Good dude. Obviously, he sends people whiskey, which is great. Now, let's get into this thing. Let's see what we got on the nose. Ooh. Very dark and rich. It smells sexy, if that makes any sense. Man, wow. This is something else. So, really nice, like rich, dark chocolate note. A sweet tobacco, which I guess should be expected because it is a cigar blend. There's a nice cinnamon presence, like a little bit of spiciness coming through on the nose, but it's not overwhelming. There's kind of a leatheriness to this, if you know, like hints of leather and leather-bound books. Let's see. Man, a nice vanilla note. Quite a bit of black pepper coming through. All right, you know, I'm just going to like go through all of the spices in my cabinet. The vanilla note is really nice. It's a really rich vanilla note that's there. There's also, it's like a cocoa bean. Really dark chocolate, but there's a sweetness to it as well. There's also dark fruits showing up now. A little bit of blueberry, like a ripe blueberry. My favorite note of all time, roasted date. You've probably heard me say it many times. That's certainly showing up here. There's also a plum note. Man, that is a fantastic nose. I'm almost distracted by how good this smells. It's so distracting I can't properly nose it. There's also like a coffee note, but like a sweet coffee, not like a black coffee. It's not as tannic as that. Man, that is just excellent. Also like hints of like mocha showing up there. Also like a toffee note as well. Man, this is excellent. Anyway, enough on the nose. Let's get into this thing. First sip, here we go. Okay, wow, that is something else. First off, let me just say that the dog came down because he heard me and decided he wanted to try as well. Sorry, buddy, you're not getting any. Because this is too amazing to share, although Joe did, so thank you, Joe. Now, let's talk about these tasting notes, though. So, up front, you get just lots of sweetness, all of your typical bourbon notes right up front, but in the best of ways. So, you get caramel, brown sugar, like a little bit of cinnamon coming through. That dark chocolate starts showing up about mid-palate. Then you get kind of coffee, toffee, mocha, very dark notes for sure. There's a little bit of leatheriness there, kind of. What I mean by that is a little bit of dry quality, but it's not bad by any means. And, you know, certainly I'm imagining there's some age to this as well as a pretty high proof point, 124. So you kind of expect that as well. There is a sweet tobacco note for sure, which you would expect since it is a cigar blend. And then once you get into the back of the palate, that's where things really get interesting. I got a little bit left here. Let's go one more sip, and we'll talk about that finish. You know, so on top of all the notes I already mentioned, which is already a ton of notes, there's also all these nice fruit notes coming through. So I didn't get this first time around, but second time, took a little bit smaller sip and got a very nice, like almost watermelon. So it's a really sweet, bright, fruity note, definitely red fruit. Just kind of juicy, mouth coating, very viscous. So that's right up front, just kind of that bright sweetness. And then once you get into the mid palate, then all those other notes start showing up. Plus, there's like a strawberry note. There's one of my favorite notes. I mention it all the time in really great bourbons. And it's a roasted date. Definitely getting that. There's like a plum note as well. Man, so good. And then when you get into the finish, it's like coffee and mocha and a little bit of sweet tobacco going on. There's also like a toffee note as well. Kind of this butterscotch thing going on as well, which was also on the palate, but it's carried through to the finish. Just, wow, this bourbon is an experience. It's fantastic. It's one of the best bourbons I've ever had, period. I've had a lot of bourbons, and this is standout. It's amazing. Honestly, I cannot say enough about it. Joe, thank you very much. You know, I would say the only thing, if you like had to find something wrong with it, is it's very slightly drying. But who cares? Because the rest of it's crazy good, like ridiculous. Okay, here's the level of good it is. You should sell everything you have and buy every bottle of this that you can find. And yeah, just do that. Live in a tent. Sell your kidney. Sell an arm. I don't know whatever the highest value thing is you have, sell that and buy this. Because I know they're expensive. They're pricey. But sell all those things. Sell maybe a dog that interrupts videos. Sell that. Or some other, maybe you got cats. Cats are good to sell. Or maybe children. Maybe you got a spare kid you don't really like. You know, get rid of them. Whatever the case, sell whatever you got to sell and get this bourbon because it's freaking amazing. Joe, thank you again. And check out Joe's channel, Indpndnt Joe, minus the vowels. Also, here's other reviews from us, and here's the subscribe button, and also please hit that like button because that helps out the algorithms and stuff. Until next time, folks, though, just remember, you can never have too much good whiskey, especially this one.